Hello and welcome to Mastermind with me, Clive Myrie. In the spotlight tonight are Matt Carter, a community radio presenter. His specialist subject is the rock band U2. Wendy Knipe, a retired lecturer who will be answering questions on toy dog breeds. James Beebe, a charity director whose specialist subject is the Mitford sisters. And Hannah Loxton, a pharmacy manager. Her subject, guest stars in the TV series Friends. Most mantelpieces provide pretty standard fare. A couple of china figurines maybe, picture frames, a vase of flowers. Now, abracadabra. Imagine the Mastermind Champions Glass Bowl given pride of place. That's the prize for winning the nation's most prestigious quiz. And our 4 contenders tonight are already dreaming, but there's a long way to go. 2 minutes on their specialist subject and 2.5 minutes on general knowledge will yield just 1 new semi-finalist. So, can I ask our first contender to join us, please? Your name?
Matt Carter.
Your occupation?
Community radio presenter.
And your specialist subject?
U2.
The chart-topping Irish rock band. In 2 minutes, starting now. In 1976, which future member of the group pinned a note to a board in Mount Temple Comprehensive School with the message, "Drummer seeks musicians to form band"?
Larry Mullen Jr.
Yes, on U2's first appearance on Top of the Pops in August 1981, they performed which song from their album October?
Fire.
Yes, what venue, the home of Lord Henry Mount Charles, was made available to U2 to live and work in while recording the 1984 album The Unforgettable Fire?
Slane Castle.
Yes, at Live Aid in 1985, U2 were meant to play 3 songs, but after Bono went down to the crowd during Bad, there was no time left to play what hit song?
Pride.
Which had originally been on their set list.
Sorry, Pride.
Yes, it's Pride. In the video for Where the Streets Have No Name, the band plays on the rooftop of a liquor store in downtown Los Angeles. What's the name of this store?
Pass.
The artwork for the single One features a photograph known as Falling Buffaloes by which artist?
David Wojnarowicz.
Yes, what 1993 song by U2 features in its lyrics a number of advertising slogans such as Vorsprung durch Technik and Fly the Friendly Skies?
Zooropa.
Yes, what's the title of the band's tour that opened in Las Vegas in 1997 and featured a giant mirror ball in the shape of a lemon?
Pop Mart.
Yes, in which American city did U2 perform the Super Bowl halftime show? In February 2002, with Bono wearing a jacket that was lined with the US flag.
Chicago.
No, New Orleans. Which French artist painted a series of Trabant cars for the album artwork of Achtung Baby and was recommissioned in 2021 to paint a new Trabant to mark the album's 30th anniversary?
Anton Corbijn.
No, Thierry Noir. 3 tracks from the 2004 album How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb won individual Grammy Awards. Vertigo, Sometimes You Can't Make It on Your Own, and which other song?
City of Blinding Lights.
Yes, in 1989. What was the name of the Dublin venue where Bono announced to the crowd on the Lovetown tour that the band now needed to go away and just dream it all up again?
Point Depot.
Yes, a limited edition CD of collaborations. I've started, so I'll finish. Of collaborations entitled U2 Duels, released in 2011, includes a live version of Sunday Bloody Sunday, featuring which rapper?
Jay-Z.
It is, Jay-Z. And Matt, you had just the one pass in the video for Where the Streets Have No Name, the band playing the rooftop of a liquor store. It's called the Republic Liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you knew that. That chair can get you sometimes. And at the end of that round, Matt, you've got 10 points.
Thank you.
And our next contender, please. Your name?
Wendy Knipe.
Your occupation?
Retired lecturer.
And your specialist subject?
Toy dog breeds.
The smallest dog breeds recognised by the British Kennel Club. In 2 minutes, let's go. Which toy dog breed, which became re-established in the UK in the 1970s, is described by the Kennel Club as having a mischievous, monkey-like expression?
Affenpinscher.
Yes, a breed in the Bichon family, popular among the nobility during the Renaissance, is named after which city in northern Italy?
Bologna.
Yes, the motto multum in parvo, meaning a lot in a little, is commonly applied to which breed, one of the heaviest toy dogs?
Pug.
Yes, the Kennel Club breed standard for their miniature pincher specifies that it should show a distinctive manner of trotting, known by what name?
Ponygate.
No, Hackney. What special name is given to the soft spot or fontanelle, sometimes found on the skull of a Chihuahua and once considered a desirable feature?
Molera.
Yes, which well-known Flemish painting, completed in 1434, features in its foreground a depiction of a small dog believed to be an early form of Griffon bruxelloise?
The Arnolfini portrait.
Yes, the Chinese crested breed is often hairless, but the Kennel Club also recognises a long-haired variety known by what name?
Powder puff.
Yes, what's the familiar name of the Belgian-bred Papillon, registered as Planet Waves Forever Young Daydream Believers, who in 2019 became the first of his breed to become the Crufts Best in Show champion?
Wavy.
No, it was Dylan. In which of the 4 recognised colour patterns for King Charles Spaniels is the entire coat chestnut red without any white patches?
Ruby.
Yes, which toy breed, once recognised by Guinness World Records as the world's rarest dog breed, is traditionally presented with closely clipped hindquarters and long hair on most of the rest of its body?
Lovechin.
Yes, the Japanese chin is said to have been brought to the West in the 1850s by which US Navy Commodore?
Commodore Perry.
Yes, the Coton de Tuileries breed, which was introduced to the Americas in the early 1970s by Dr. Robert J. Russell, is often referred to as the royal dog of which country?
Madagascar.
Yes, what name is often given to small specimens of the Pekingese breed because of an aristocratic practice? I've started, so I'll finish. Aristocratic practice in ancient China, in which they were concealed within their owner's clothing to act as guard dogs.
Sleeve dogs.
They are sleeve dogs. Now, Wendy, you had no passes, and at the end of that round, you've got 11 points. And our next contender, please. Your name,
James Beebe,
your occupation,
Charity Director,
and your specialist subject.
the Mitford sisters.
Nancy, Pamela, Diana, Unity, Jessica, and Deborah, the 6 Mitford sisters who fascinated and scandalised Britain from the 1920s. In 2 minutes, let's go. Which poet proposed marriage to Pamela Mitford, whom he described as the most rural of them all?
John Betjeman,
Yes, as a teenager, Jessica used what item to engrave a hammer and sickle on her bedroom window?
a ring.
Yes, a diamond ring. What's the name of the house to which the Mitford family moved in 1919 and lived in until 1926?
Asthall,
Yes, Astle Manor. In June 1940, when Diana was imprisoned as a Nazi sympathiser, she left at home an 11-week-old baby, her second child, with Oswald Mosley. What was the child's first name?
Max,
Yes, in Nancy's novel, The Pursuit of Love, Uncle Matthew, who was a caricature of the sister's father, describes which book as so frightfully good I've never bothered to read another.
White Fang,
Yes, while the older Mitford sisters went to finishing school in France, Unity demanded to complete her education in which city?
Munich,
Yes. As part of her work for the Civil Rights Congress in 1950, Jessica campaigned against the imminent execution in Mississippi of which death row prisoner?
Willie McGee,
Yes, which of Nancy's novels, published in 1935, caused a political rift with her sisters, Diana and Unity, over her satirical portrayal of the British fascist movement?
Whigs on the Green,
Yes, in 1937, the 19-year-old Jessica eloped with her cousin Esmond Romilly, having come to admire him from reading his schoolboy left-wing journal, which had what title?
Out of Bounds,
Yes, Nancy edited the 1956 humorous book Noblesse Oblige, which popularised the concept of you and non-you, referring to language as used by the upper classes. Which cartoonist provided the illustrations?
Mark Ogilvy Grant,
No, Osbert Lancaster. In 1935, Unity aired her pro-Nazi views in a controversial letter that was published in which German newspaper?
Münchner Zeitung,
No, Der Stürmer. Which novel by Evelyn Waugh, satirising the bright young things of the 1920s, did he dedicate to Diana and her first husband, Brian Guinness?
Vile Bodies,
Yes, in 1937, Deborah bought a fur coat with the money she received from a successful libel suit against which daily newspaper, after they'd mistakenly named her as the Mitford sister who'd eloped with Esmond Romilly?
Daily Express,
It was the Daily Express. And James, you had no passes. You've got 11 points.
Thank you.
And our final contender, please. Your name,
Hannah Loxton,
your occupation,
pharmacy manager,
and your specialist subject.
guest stars in Friends.
The celebrity cameo appearances in the hugely popular sitcom Friends. In 2 minutes, let's go. In season 1, Rachel and Monica go on a double date with doctors played by Noah Wiley and which other actor?
George Clooney.
Yes, in The One with Phoebe's husband, Steve Zahn plays the titular Duncan, who's visiting New York as part of the cast of which skating show at Madison Square Garden?
The Ice Capades.
Yes, when Ross goes to the zoo to look for his monkey, Marcel, he meets an employee played by Dan Castellaneta, who describes which creature as an ambassador of darkness and a sightless spectre of the macabre.
Bat.
Yes, in The One with the Ring, Rachel asks her boyfriend, Paul, played by Bruce Willis, to tell her about his childhood, and he tearfully confesses that he had what two-word nickname?
Pretty Paul.
No, Chicken Boy. In The One with Joey's Dirty Day, when Charlton Heston discovers Joey using his dressing room shower on a film set, Joey says, "I guess you wouldn't believe me if I said I was..." Which actor?
Pass.
What's the stage name of the stripper, Roy, played by Danny DeVito, who's been hired for Phoebe's bachelorette party?
Officer Goodbody.
Yes, Ross and his cousin Cassie, played by Denise Richards, watch what film, which Ross believes is the sexiest movie ever?
Weekend at Bernie's.
No, Logan's Run. In The One with the Male Nanny, Freddie Prinze Jr. guest stars as Sandy, the childminder, who has two hand puppets known collectively as the Snufflebumps. One's called Mr. Wigglemunch. What's the name of the other?
Pass.
When Joey has an audition with a famous actor played by Jeff Goldblum, what two-word stage direction does Joey accidentally read out loud, thinking that it's the character's name?
Pass.
In The One with Ross's Tan, Jennifer Coolidge guest stars as Monica and Phoebe's annoying friend Amanda, who says that in 1992 she slept with which famous person?
Donny Osmond.
No, Evil Knievel. What's the title of the episode in season 3, in which Ben Stiller plays Rachel's date Tommy, who loses his temper with a man who occupying his seat in the theatre?
The one with the screamer.
Yes, Monica becomes paranoid when she finds out, I've started so I'll finish, when she finds out that Chandler's work colleague, Wendy, played by Selma Blair, was once the runner-up in a beauty pageant for which US state?
Oklahoma.
It is Oklahoma. Hannah, 3 passes. When Joey has an audition with a famous actor, the two-word stage direction he reads out, long pause. Of course, of course. And those two hand puppets, collectively known as the Snufflebumps, one's called Mr. Wigglemunch, the other the Grumpus. And when Charlton Heston discovers Joey using his dressing room shower on a film set, Joey says, "I guess you wouldn't believe me if I said I was Kirk Douglas." And at the end of that round, Hannah, you've got 6 points.
Thank you.
And at the end of the specialist subjects round, let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 6 points, it's Hannah. In 3rd place with 10 points, it's Matt. And in joint 1st place with 11 points each, Wendy and James. So now, the general knowledge round. And if there's a tie at the end, then the number of passes is taken into account, and the person with the fewer passes is the winner. And if they're tied on passes as well, it's a tie break. So let's ask Hannah to join us again, please. So, Hannah, you start with 6 points. You've got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Let's go. The word brush is an alternative name for which part of a fox?
Tail.
Yes, the phrase ball-by-ball coverage usually refers to media reporting of what team sport?
Cricket.
Yes, the gunfight at the OK Corral took place in 1881 in which small city in Arizona?
Little Rock.
No, Tombstone. In the 1960s television series The Addams Family, the daughter has which day of the week as her first name?
Wednesday.
Yes. Which 1878 operetta by Gilbert and Sullivan features the characters Deadeye Dick, Mrs. Cripps and Captain Corcoran?
The Pirates of Penzance.
No, HMS Pinafore. Which Welsh poet wrote, "Do not go gentle into that good night," a
Dylan
villanelle
Thomas.
for his dying father?
Dylan Thomas.
Dylan Thomas. What name derived from the Latin word for hair is given to the narrowest type of blood vessel in the human circulatory system?
Capillary.
Yes. Which Russian-born composer wrote the music for the ballet The Firebird, first performed in Paris in 1910?
Stravinsky.
Yes. What international radio signal for a boat or aircraft in distress comes from a phonetic version of the French for help me?
Mayday.
Yes, which museum, noted for its paintings by Rubens, Canaletto and Rembrandt, among others, was opened in 1900 at Hertford House, the one-time London residence of the Marquesses of Hertford?
The Tate.
No, the Wallace Collection. Which Irish singer reached #2 in the UK singles chart in 2015 with a song entitled Take Me to Church?
Sinead O'Connor.
No, Hosier. The Queensway and Kingsway road tunnels connect Birkenhead and Wallasey, respectively, to which English city?
Liverpool.
Yes. In what 1992 film, based on a 1928 novel by Virginia Woolf, does Tilda Swinton play the title character, a poet who changes sex and lives for several hundred years?
Orlando.
Yes. What religious movement was founded near Winchester in 1876 by Mary Sumner to support women in bringing up their children in the Christian faith?
Pass.
In a standard modern 3-pin electric plug used in the UK, what colour wire is attached to the live terminal, the one to the right of the neutral terminal?
Brown.
Yes, the 1995 book, The Path to Power, is a memoir of the early life and political career of which UK Prime Minister?
Margaret Thatcher.
Yes, the Strait of Messina separates mainland Italy from which large Mediterranean island?
Sicily.
Yes, the international organisation known as FIDE, an acronym of its French name spelt F-I-D-E, is the governing body of what board game?
Monopoly.
No, chess, which Elizabethan dramatist is widely regarded as the author of the 2-part play Tamburlaine the Great. I've started, so I'll finish. Originally published anonymously in 1590 and based on the life of a medieval conqueror of Central Asia and India.
Christopher Marlowe.
It is Christopher Marlowe. Just a one pass, Hannah. The religious movement to support women in bringing up their children in the Christian faith, the Mothers' Union. And at the end of that round, Hannah, you've got 19 points.
Thank you.
And our next contender, please. So, Matt, you start with 10 points. The score to beat as it stands is 19 points. You've got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Here we go. The words psychology, pneumatic, and pterodactyl begin with which letter of the alphabet, which in each case is silent?
P.
Yes, which Warner Brothers cartoon character is often seen chewing on a carrot and has the catchphrase, "What's up, Doc?"
Bugs Bunny.
Yes, in 1662, the mathematician Viscount Brunker became the first official president of what scientific research organisation?
Pass.
Which American actress has received multiple Best Actress Oscar nominations, including for her roles in the 1987 thriller Fatal Attraction and the 1988 drama Dangerous Liaisons?
Glenn Close.
Yes, what decimal number is written in binary notation as 101?
10.
No, 5. The pink properties on a standard London Monopoly board are Pall Mall, Northumberland Avenue, and which other property?
Bow Street.
No, Whitehall. The Flames are a Stanley Cup-winning ice hockey team based in which Canadian city?
Toronto.
No, Calgary. Which American singer had her first UK hit single in 1972 with The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face?
Pass.
The name of what dessert, consisting of layers of puff pastry filled with jam and cream, translates from French as 1,000 leaves?
Milford.
Yes, millefeuille. I'll accept that. The character Nick Carraway recently arrived in New York to study the Bond business is the narrator of what 1925 novel by F. Scott Fitzgerald?
The Great Gatsby.
Yes, the resort of Monte Carlo, famous for its casino complex, is in which Mediterranean country?
Monaco.
Yes, the emblem used by the environmental organisation, the Rainforest Alliance, to indicate that goods have been produced sustainably, features a depiction of what amphibian?
Dolphin.
No, frog. The line, "Was this the face that launched 1,000 ships?" from the play Dr. Faustus by Christopher Marlowe, is a reference to which Trojan figure from Greek mythology?
Helen of Troy.
Yes, which actor plays the title character of the 2014 action film John Wick about a former hitman who comes out of retirement to take revenge against those who killed his dog?
Bruce Willis.
No, Keanu Reeves. What's the basic unit of currency of Hungary?
Florent.
No, forint, which UK charity set up in the 1980s to fund research into and raise awareness of HIV and AIDS, is named in memory of one of the first people in Britain known to have died of an AIDS-related illness.
Pass.
In 2017, Tony Blackburn succeeded Brian Matthew, I've started so I'll finish, succeeded Brian Matthew as the regular presenter of the long-running Radio 2 show entitled The Sounds of which decade?
80s.
No, the 60s. So, Matt, you had 3 passes. It's the Terence Higgins Trust, set up in the 1980s to fund research into and raise awareness of HIV and AIDS. You knew that. I'm sure you know this one as well. The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, Roberta Flack. Yes. And the mathematician Viscount Brunker became the first official president of the Royal Society.
Okay.
So at the end of that round, Matt, you've got 17 points.
Thank you.
Next up is Wendy. So, Wendy, you start with 11 points. The score to beat as it stands, 19 points. You've got 2.5 minutes of general knowledge. Let's go. According to a legend dating back to the Middle Ages, St. George is said to have slain what mythical creature?
A dragon.
Yes, what common name is given to the single-celled fungi, which are used to induce fermentation during the production of bread and alcoholic drinks?
Yeast.
Yes, An Unearthly Child, originally shown in 1963, was the first episode of what long-running science fiction television series?
Doctor Who.
Yes, in 2015, Muhammadu Buhari succeeded Goodluck Jonathan as president of which West African country?
Zimbabwe.
No, Nigeria. What's the word derived from Old French for cover the fire, for a regulation that requires people to stay indoors after a particular time, typically at night?
Curfew.
Yes, in tennis, in January 2022, who became the first home player since 1978 to win a singles title at the Australian Open when she beat Danielle Collins in the women's final?
Ash Barty.
Yes, magnetite is an important ore of which metal?
Pass.
The School of Athens fresco in a museum in the Vatican, which depicts Plato, Aristotle and other notable philosophers, was painted in the early 16th century by which Renaissance artist?
Michelangelo.
No, Raphael. Which American filmmaker directed the films The King of Comedy, The Age of Innocence and The Departed?
Scorsese.
Yes, in 1970, which Welsh author became the first female winner of the Booker Prize for her novel, The Elected Member?
Pass.
In 1964, the War Office, the British government department that administered the army, was incorporated into which ministry?
Home Office.
No, the Ministry of Defence. The singer and bass guitar player Ian Kilmister, better known as Lemmy, was the frontman of which British rock band?
Def Leppard.
No, Motorhead. The American 1-cent coin bears an image of which 19th century US president?
John Smith.
No, Abraham Lincoln. Which university in central Scotland was founded in 1967 on the site of the historic Airdrie Castle estate?
Pass.
Trigonometry is a branch of mathematics that deals with the relations between the angles and lengths of sides of what geometric shape?
Triangle.
Yes, what stage show, which won a Tony Award for Best Musical in 2004 and later ran in the West End for more than 4 years from 2006, features puppets reminiscent of those in Sesame Street and The Muppet Show as part of its cast?
It's gone.
Avenue Q.
Yes.
So I'll take that as a pass, Wendy. You had 3 others. Which university in central Scotland was founded on the site of the historic Airdrie Castle estate? It's University of Stirling. Bernice Rubens is the first female winner of the Booker Prize. And magnetite is an important ore of iron. And at the end of that round, Wendy, you've got 18 points.
Thank you.
And finally, it's James. James, you start with 11 points. The score to beat to get through to the semi-finals is Hannah's 19 points. You've got 2.5 minutes on general knowledge. Let's go. The word Martian means relating to which planet?
Mars.
Yes, the Maghrib and the Isha are the last 2 of the 5 daily prayers performed by followers of which religion?
Islam.
Yes, in the television series Blackadder 2, which actress plays Queenie, a comedy characterisation of Queen Elizabeth I?
Miranda Richardson.
Yes, which Scottish author wrote the crime fiction novels Witch Hunt, Bleeding Hearts and Blood Hunt under the pen name Jack Harvey?
Ian Rankin.
Yes, on a menu, the description à la Florentine indicates that a dish is cooked with or served with what vegetable?
Spinach.
Yes. What's the stage name of the Grammy Award-winning American rapper and producer Timothy Mosley, who had a UK #1 single in 2007 entitled Give It To Me, featuring vocals by Nelly Furtado and Justin Timberlake?
Drake.
No, Timberland. Postcodes beginning with the letters SA cover addresses in and around which city in South Wales?
Swansea.
Yes, what's the professional name of the American actor who won an Oscar for his performance in the 1995 film Leaving Las Vegas, and who is the nephew of the director Francis Ford Coppola?
Nicolas Cage.
Yes, in 1865, the British mountaineer Edward Whymper led the first known expedition to have reached the summit of which alpine peak?
The Eiger.
No, the Matterhorn. What's the name of the politician who stood as the Conservative Party candidate in the London mayoral election held in 2021?
Is that Goldsmith?
No, Sean Bailey. Which composer wrote the oratorio Messiah, which was first performed in Dublin in 1742?
A pass.
What historic legal term, the Latin for under penalty, refers to a writ that compels a person either to appear in or to provide documents to a court of law?
Habeas corpus.
No, subpoena. The two official languages of Cyprus are Greek and which other language?
Cypriot.
No, Turkish. Which Portuguese football manager led his Roma side to victory in the final of the inaugural Europa Conference League in May 2022?
Mourinho.
Yes, Jose Mourinho. A John Dory is a species of what creature?
Fish.
Yes, which high-security prison in New York State, built in the 1820s, was officially known as Ossining Correctional Facility between 1970 and 1985?
Rikers.
No, Sing Sing. What anatomical name for a dividing wall of tissue in a body part is given to the thin structure of cartilage and bone in the nose that separates the two nostrils?
Septum.
Yes, in 2010 and 2011, which British artist, I've started so I'll finish, which British artist created the Yosemite Suite, a series of digital landscape drawings of the California National Park using an application on his iPad?
Pass.
It was David Hockney.
Oh.
And James, you had one other pass. The composer who wrote the oratorio Messiah. Handel. It doesn't matter anyway, James, because at the end of that round, you've done it. You've got 21 points.
Thank you.
So let's have a look at the final scores. In fourth place with 17 points, it's Matt. In third place with 18 points, it's Wendy. In second place with 19 points sits Hannah. And in first place with 21 points, it's James, which means he goes through to the semi-finals. Congratulations to him. If you would like to be a contender in the next series, please go to our website, bbc.co.uk/mastermind, and you can follow us as ever at Mastermind Quiz. Join us again next time for more Masterminds. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
I remember watching Mastermind with my parents when I was a kid, and my dad saying, "You should go on that one day."
You've done it. You've got 21 points.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be a winner of this heat. I hoped that I would not embarrass myself on national TV, and so to have won the heat is really amazing. I'm over the moon.